When it comes to nutrition, everyone always thinks to get by, you really have to follow these really rigid rules. But what if I told you the missing piece to building a healthy relationship with yourself is curiosity? When it comes to nutrition and understanding your relationship with food and your body, it's really important to not think of this rigidity that we're taught. When you do start building towards this new relationship, you do kind of feel a little bit overwhelmed, maybe emotional, stressed by all of the new information. It can also feel really exciting. I don't want to say it's just a bad thing, but all of this new information that your body starts to communicate can just come up and bring things up for you. So when I'm talking to folks and they're kind of in this space of understanding their body and the way that it communicates to them, curiosity is definitely one of the first things I like to mention to help them cultivate a language of understanding for themselves. Today I'm going to be talking about curiosity, so grab your tea, grab your drink. I got mine, and let's jump into it. When we're thinking about curiosity and how it plays a role in loving your chichos, let's run through some examples. So picture this, you've come home from work, you're super tired, and all you want to do is kind of eat and zone out, right? Let me know if you've been there. Drop something in the comments if that's you or has been you. And you eat your dinner, you kind of rush through the day, rush through the evening, and then lo and behold, you're on the couch snacking away. What are the things that you feel? How do they come up for you? How do you express them? What do you do and navigate after this kind of scenario plays out in your day-to-day? Are you the type to kind of feel a little guilty, feel shameful, beat yourself up about it? Do you accept it and move on? Where is you in that scenario? When this kind of example happens to my clients, I like to make sure that we bring in curiosity, right? Like, what happened? What's going on? In some cases where we're having this episode of late night snacking or crashing out on the couch snacking, it's an indication that, like, hey, maybe you were hungry and maybe you missed out on some meals throughout the day and your body kind of was just looking for that at the end of the day. When we're able to approach it like this and think back in our day to see what was happening, if anything was happening, we're able to kind of put together the pieces to help us understand ourselves a little bit better than just jumping to a conclusion that there's something wrong with me. If this makes sense, keep watching. Let's try another example to help you understand how to apply curiosity in your relationship building with yourself. So let's say you're an emotional eater. What does that mean? Maybe you have stressful emotions and it tends to make you eat more or less. Maybe when you're happy or sad, you eat certain foods. All of this is great information for you to be able to pick apart when you're having an episode of emotional eating. When we're able to kind of understand the patterns of our emotional eating and understand our food choices from a place of curiosity, we're then able to understand, like, hey, what's going on? Like, maybe I needed something. When I talk to folks and there's like some emotional eating going on, I like to ask, what are your tools? Like, if we are having a toolbox, like any good tool person, without a handyman, any good handy person would have, we would want to have multiple tools in that toolbox, right? So we want to approach it the same way with our emotional eating. If we're going to have big emotions and we're going to take care of it with stuff, what else is in your toolbox outside of your food tool, right? When we're able to kind of bring curiosity to the emotional moment, maybe it happens during the time, maybe it happens after, but it helps rebuild the language so that you're able to understand what's going on and approach it from a more holistic perspective, or just a different understanding of yourself than just knowing this is what you do because why. Maybe when you get stressed because you've had a long day and there's mess around the house, maybe that's an opportunity to tell your partner or yourself, if you live alone, like, hey, I need to make sure that this is clean first before I do stuff because that stresses me out. Or what systems do I need to put in place so that things are a little bit more organized so when I come home, I'm not stressed and then need to like order out or eat something that's no longer in alignment with how I want to feel. There's many different ways to kind of tackle that. But what's most important is that you're just able to think about what you're doing and then reflect on it to then make some informed changes and decisions the next time it happens. If you are an emotional eater, let me know what kind of emotional eater you are, what has been helpful for you, what other tools have been helpful for you to help support your emotional eating. Feel free to share it because it might help someone in the comments, and then, we can help each other. That would be super cute. Okay, last example. So let's say you're the type of person that every day when you're at work, you're like, oh, I gotta get my coffee. It's 3 p.m. Gotta get my coffee. Or let's say you're the type of person that's like, oh, I just ate dinner. Let me grab a bite. Let me grab something sweet. Or let's say, we can keep going on and on. I'm not going to keep giving you examples. But let's just say you have a habit, whatever the habit is, and you just keep doing the habit and you keep doing the habit, and you're not really taking time to be curious about it. Habits are a great place to be curious because sometimes we just do things because we do things and we don't really know what we're doing. And when we are able to kind of peek in and see what's going on, we're able to uncover some information. Let's go with this coffee drinking 3 p.m. thing. I like to point this one out a lot because people can sometimes feel like there's something wrong with them because they need a coffee or whatever the case. But when we're able to peel back the layers, bring in some curiosity, we're able to see that maybe we need a snack at that time, right? Because if we're thinking of meal consistency as one of the goals that I like to work on with my clients, we want to be eating every 4 hours. That's like a general rule of thumb. It changes depending on what you ate, your stress, your movement, lots of things play a factor. But every 4 hours, I like to have folks start checking in with themselves to see what they need. So, in this example, let's say you are a diligent person and you had your lunch at 12 and you start getting your little mid afternoon slump. That's generally around 3 or 4, which in most cases means it's time to eat. And when I'm talking to folks and we're figuring this out, there's definitely an opportunity to be like questioning, why didn't my lunch last enough? And it's like, baby girl, you did. Like, how much more do you want it to last? It's lunch. Like, lunch was 4 hours ago, maybe 3 if you had a late one. So when we're able to kind of pick apart a habit like that of an afternoon slump and then seeing, we're able to identify like, hey, maybe you need a snack, right? Like maybe you need a little bit of a something to hold you over until dinner, because if we just have our coffee, it's going to suppress our appetite until we get to dinner, and then we're going to be so hungry. It's going to be even harder to listen to our fullness cues, to make sure that our meal is balanced, to stop when we're full. Like there's so many other things that are kind of like a domino effect because we're not allowing ourselves to be curious. So with this example, I want to prompt you to think about a habit that you may have. Feel free to drop that in the comments too, that you can start or want to start being curious about, and see what comes up. What information is your body holding there that maybe we just haven't been able to tap into for whatever reason? So I just said a bunch of things at once. I'm actually really nervous. I'm trying this new format for our videos where it's going to be like a técesito talk, where it's just something quick that you can drink your tea and get a little bit of nutrition information to kind of help you rebuild your relationship with food and work towards loving your chichos. So if you're watching this and you're enjoying it, please let me know. I'm very concerned about the way it looks, concerned about the camera angle. I'm nervous, but I'm just chugging along because I want to make sure that I'm sharing this information, these little tidbits that show up when I work with clients one-on-one, to help folks kind of dig into that stuff if they can't access nutrition care. Though thankfully I work in a space where we accept insurance and are in a bunch of states. So if you are looking for a dietitian, I'm here. All the information for that is linked in the bio, and I'll put a little QR code here too so that you can check it out. But please let me know how you're liking this one so far and this setup. Do I look comfortable or not? I'm trying to also be comfortable because I was sitting like this. Okay, whatever. Back to the video. So after I've said all these things, what are realizations that are coming up for you? How can you implement some curiosity when it comes to your habits, your routines, your patterns of eating? Just things in general. It doesn't even have to relate to food. Like if we're able to bring in curiosity to all parts of our life, we're really able to understand ourselves in a way that is so much more unique to us and helps us remember the person that we are before diet culture came in and like took all these parts of our lives, right? And it's really important that we focus our energy as much into taking care of ourselves so that we can be active participants in the life that we're living right now, in the world that we're living right now, because we need everyone fed, nourished, and ready to go because there's so much stuff that needs our attention to create the world that we want to see. And dieting and not being curious and ignoring our body is not going to get us there any quicker. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, leave some eyeball emojis so that you could be curious about your body too. Share this video with somebody that you love and let them take some tippy toes into loving their chichos too. And if you really like what I've been talking about and loving your chichos is your vibe, make sure you hit that subscribe and join the club, the little party that we have going on, the little tea party that we have going on here, so that you can be in this lovely place of loving your chichos with me. Thank you for watching today's video. I hope to see you in the next one. Check out my other videos if you want to keep learning about loving your chichos. Until next time.